What is the most crappy thing about becoming an adult? I think there are two things. 1. The sharp, jarring dose of reality that hits you when someone you are close to dies is awful, but so is the time days, weeks, or months later when you forget that they're dead and want to call them or visit with them and remember that they're dead. It's like they've died all over again. 2. Having to make responsible choices and put all your obligations before your fun all the time. Nobody remembers how to have fun without getting drunk high, exploring the woods, playing in the snow, going on hikes, wandering through your city, trying to get on rooftops, chilling at restaurants, jumping in the lake, floating down the river on an inner tube, trying to build a fort. Nope, all gone. Never going to do it again. I miss exploring. I miss taking walks. I miss swinging on swing sets. I miss having fun. Everyone just wants to drink. This starts at 14 and it never returned. Legacy must be constructed exactly like the Star Wars box says. Then it sits on a shelf. No more wild creation for crazy worlds. Coloring? Nope, everybody chuckles, oh I can't draw, then pours another glass of wine. Heck, even fairs or midnight showings are a bust. People just play on their phones or head to the beer garden. I remember when everybody in the neighborhood would just be outside for hours. Sometimes we'd draw with chalk, maybe a hopscotch snail thing, maybe a kickball diamond. Sometimes we'd form clubs and fight over who'd be the leader. Sometimes we'd pull out our military type walkie-talkies that had over a 3-mile range and try to pick up a stranger. It could interfere with phone calls, which was awesome. Met some other kids this way. Other times we'd wander around the neighborhood, befriending the cats along the way. Sometimes we'd ding-dong ditch and pretend the people were chasing us. Hide and seek, tag, Red Rover, all that's gone. Once you hit 14 people start to realize gender and then nobody has any fun anymore. Trying to get laid, trying to get high, trying to get wasted, nothing else. That's all. I hate being a grown up. As a 27 going on 28-year-old who now has a career away from where I grew up, I would definitely say it's slowly losing touch with 90% of the people you care about. A friend gets married here, a friend moves there, a family member passes here, another there. Every time I get a chance to visit home I can't help but notice that the list of people I want to visit and the people that want me to visit gets a little shorter each time. Life doesn't wait for us, and it seems like every day one good friend or another is slowly drifting towards being just an acquaintance. It really sucks. That feeling that you spent your whole life tapping the world on the shoulder and when it finally turned around you forgot what you had to say. Whoa, that's really accurate. Your life is no longer in periods of about 6 months. Out of college it's difficult adjusting from one semester at a time to just grinding day after day until you die. I've been out of school for almost a year and I just have this feeling that I'm waiting for something to happen. And I realized I feel like I need to return to school. It's felt like a long summer break, and now I'm bored with that feeling, so it's time to go back. Unfortunately it's not the same even if I did go back. I think for me the simplest summary is the lack of time. Oh, you want to have food and shelter? Here, let me take over a third of your usable time. Want food? It's not stocked for you. You need to spend 40 minutes to get what you want. Need to do home repairs? Well, say goodbye to your weekend. You're going to be spending some time at the local electrical plumbing lumber shop. Want to cook dinner for yourself? Oh crap, I just finished cooking and now it's 8 PM. Want to get a good night's sleep? Oh wait, here's an emergency phone call at 3 AM. Better take it, you need the extra $sign to pay for the house repairs, save for retirement, or go on a much needed vacation. Want to take a day off to get things done? Well, now's the perfect opportunity for your body to remind you about all those hours of sleep you missed this week. No one mentioned this, so I will. No one wants to go out and play. Your friends aren't hanging around the neighborhood waiting for you to get out of work. You can't call anyone spur of the moment and say, hey, let's go loiter in a gas station and break glass bottles. Every social event is planned begrudgingly around everyone's schedules and usually aren't as fun as they used to be. I am now completely in charge of buying my own toilet paper. Any day could be the day that I turn to that unforgiving, empty roll. Next time be ready to say goodbye to one of your socks. Bills everywhere, insurance, rent, taxes, car payments, the costs of living never stop. This means you have to keep working just to maintain the status quo. Resilience slipping away. I'm 28. I once could sleep on a floor with a rolled up towel as a pillow. Now I have a pillow top bed and need several pillows to sleep well. I could eat pizza all day. Now if I eat it at night, heartburn for hours. If I hurt myself, it doesn't heal overnight. If I get hungover, it takes all day, not just one stroke 4 of it, to recover. Hangovers are really bad these days. Mine get worse as the day goes on. Sometimes I actually vomit at around 4 PM, having been awake since early morning after a heavy night. How quickly physical fitness can slip away from you and how much harder it is to get it back. When you fail, you fail. The world is content to let you die in a gutter. As a child you, hopefully, have parents who are looking out for you and will help you if you need it. As an adult you're on your own. The world is content to let you die in a gutter. So true. So bitter. I'm going to toilet now to cry secretly. Honestly, I think it's the realization that it's all now your responsibility. There is so much freedom and awesomeness that's yours for the taking. But there's nobody else there to back you up anymore. You have to make your own decisions and then stand by them. But the thing that I personally really struggled with was that there's nobody there to cheer you up or tell you off. When you're a kid and you feel bad, you might get a hug or a pep talk from a parent. When you're on your own, you have to learn to look after your own mental well-being. You have to learn to take the knocks and learn from them. And also, nobody will say, hey man, that's a lot of dirty laundry there. You're not gonna have any pants left the day after tomorrow. Do some washing or it's 2 AM. Turn off the TV or you're gonna be tired all day at work tomorrow and it'll really suck. You really have to learn how to run a house and run a life on your own. It took me a while to realize that this isn't something that just happens to people when they hit 18 or 21. It's learned, and it needs practice and it takes some work. Looking after your home and your mind isn't easy, but it makes all the fun things about adulthood 400% better once you start getting the hang of it. Well done. You just guilt-tripped me into cleaning my flat. That moment when you stop preparing for the person you might be someday and start coming to terms with the person you became. Realizing how often important results can ride on chance, not effort, lack thereof or what is inherently fair or not fair. But you have to let that go. Don't let it make you bitter or give you a reason to stop trying. What is inherently fair or not fair? Expecting life to treat you well because you're a good person is like expecting an angry bull not to charge because you're vegetarian. Sharia. Bah. There is no way back. Just hit 60. The adults were right. They said I'd never have as much free time as I had in college. Word. Nature does not give a dang if you are happy or not. Pretty much up to you and completely under your control. How you accept the world presented is all that counts. Life is short. Another place the adults were right. When I was a kid, the ancients were 35 years old and so powerful and wise. I'd never get there, except that was a quarter century ago now. Zooam. A good life plan, for a guy, is to have adventure, make a buck, kiss girls as often and deeply as possible, love life, dance, protect the weak, learn every day, keep a journal, laugh, sing, create, listen to old people, try and make peace, forgive, be generous with what you have, spend time enjoying what you encounter, decide on a mission at some point, an expedition or a goal and move a little bit in that direction every day and before long. Bingo. Taxes, bills, death, sickness, loss, injury, misfortune happen. Accept it. Love, fun, beauty, goodness, kindness, growth, happiness, camaraderie. These things happen too. Pay more attention to these. Take care of the most important old person in your life when you are young. That will be you when you are old. Save some. Be healthy. Build a loving community around yourself. You are responsible for your happiness and security as an old person. Get cracking. Did I mention the girl kissing part? All the magic in the world comes from love, I think. Don't lose sight of the magic. Excellent insight. This resonated well with me. Thank you. Routine. You do the same dang thing day in day out because you have to. No more spontaneous adventures. You want to do something? Better plan it for a weekend or your vacation. And even then, anything could happen to destroy the chances of your scheduled fun. Sometimes I have to book work for Saturdays. It is 14 degrees Fahrenheit here today. Miserable. But I am filling up my calendar in the summer already with crap I will have to do on Saturdays. Yes, of course I know what I'm doing. I never have, and feel I never will. Best advice I got when I took over for a retiring guy. We made all of this up. You'll run into problems. Make up solutions until they're not problems anymore. Legit. Part of the fun is trying to make a problem go away with the fewest number of interventions. You realize just how alone you can be when you are dating someone. It is amazing. But then you kind of still realize how alone the two of you are as a unit compared to others. At the end of the night, everyone goes home and you might not see them again for a few weeks. The only thing I think is worse is when you realize you basically go home from work, eat, gym, go to bed, and then you wake up and go back to work. Half of your day centers around something pretty meh. Dude, this is how I feel every day. But I don't have a so I feel even more alone. Paying bills. Yay, payday. Whoops, there goes all my money. Bye. I can buy any video game I want, but I don't have time to play it. The uncertainty. I have to say the hardest part for me has been looking back and thinking so many of my decisions were the most important decision you're ever going to make. I look back and think I could have had so much more fun and been relaxed instead of stressed. I have to say I did actually learn this after my father passed away. My friends don't seem to understand why not much stresses me out now. I am usually the one calming everyone else down because it all seems so petty. I'm also going to add that after losing one parent you become obsessed with when the other might die. I have older parents and one day I couldn't get a hold of my mom and thought she could be dead in her house alone. Promptly went to her house and found it empty. Looked at her calendar and she was out with friends. The realization that the world gives less than a crap about who you are, what you care about and what your dreams are. Having to actively exercise and watch what you eat to not get fat. Definitely the overwhelming feeling that you should know what to do with your life but you really have no idea. Responsibilities. The realization that some things are gone forever and being more aware of death. I'm going to be in debt for the next 30 years because of buying a house and going to college. Not getting ahead, just getting back to zero. Everything becomes mundane. It is harder to get excited about things and be spontaneous as you know you have to pay and plan for it. Going out requires too much effort and you lose touch with friends. And bills. My god, the bills. The crushing loneliness. When you're a kid, making and keeping friends is simple. Now with work, and taking care of a kid, and the general work of managing one's life, I haven't gone to hang out with friends in over a year. Waking up and having pain be the first feeling of the day. I never felt pain upon waking when I was younger. I could spring out of bed and be ready to take on the world. Not so much anymore. Maybe that it's harder to protect you from yourself. You will have learned more subtle and sophisticated ways of destroying yourself that are not so easily detected and thwarted by loved ones. You're not running around with sharp objects or trying to stick stuff in outlets anymore, I hope. But you're still curious about many things that can ruin you just as surely, and you're expected to know of such things and avoid them on your own now. But just like when you were a kid, there will be many dangers that you don't know about, and sometimes you aren't able to avoid the ones that you do know about. Staying alive and well isn't so straightforward anymore, and you can make decisions that kill you long before you actually die. Old guy here. The most crappy things as you go through life will be unique to you. My list is a list of crappy realizations that make you cringe about your own arrogance in your youth looking back. 1. Realizing after you turn 21 and can now drink that you were not really respected as an adult. 2. Realizing after you get married that married people don't really consider single people who were never married adults. 3. Realizing after you buy a home and pay your own bills fully that people who own homes don't consider people who rent or live with others to be adults. 4. Having children and then realizing that people who think their pets are their children are living a lie. Then you realize that people with children do not view people without children as adults. 5. Turning 40 and realizing you don't think anyone under 30 is an adult. 6. Turning 50 and realizing that people without gray hair are not adults. 7. Turning 60 and realizing that people who have not buried their parents are not adults. I think that covers it. If I had it all to do over again, and I could go back remembering everything I know now, this would be my to-do list and top priority. I did some of these things, but not all. Get out of my parents' house right away. Study accounting and finance because the language of capitalism is money. Learn to play guitar because mastery of acoustic guitar provides portable entertainment for friends and makes everything better. Start my IRA/401k right away and contribute 10% of every dime I receive to it forever. Delay marriage until after I was 30 at least. Required 12 weeks of counseling before getting married. Same level of counseling before considering children to discover if I will really make a good parent. Spend some time in the military before college so I would appreciate what we have and learn to discipline myself. Run and lift weights regularly my entire life. Live in many different cities and live light with very few possessions. No reason for a home to have more than a campsite. Have small apartments that cost next to nothing. Sleeping bag, toothbrush, some clothes, computer, that's it. Any sentimental possession, trash it. You'll eventually forget what it was from anyway and trash it later. Besides, you can't take it with you. I could go on. I got tired of typing with my cat rubbing my face. No more 2-month summers to do whatever the frick you want. I would kill just to have a month or two off to frick up my sleep schedule, play video games, and forget what day of the week it is. You have been visited by the donkey of good jokes comment. I'm not a clown but I make good jokes so they always laugh at your jokes. If you are new to the channel, you can subscribe. I publish new videos every day. Until then, check out another video, or don't. Either way, have a great day you magnificent people.